This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're in Glasgow, ahead of fight night tomorrow night. It's about, I don't know, 9:30?
Yeah, something like that.
Way past your bedtime,
yeah,
Sonny Edwards.
You've been keeping me up, chasing me for this interview.
Chasing you all day, I have.
Been trying to get away from you all day.
I know, finally, you can't get away from me. Well, you
you
can try, but
I'm gone.
It doesn't work. Yeah, weighing day today. Obviously, disappointing for Ian Butcher. He didn't make the weight, which means he's not eligible to win the British title tomorrow.
Yeah.
But what's kind of been the reaction from Team Edwards about that?
Well, I think the confidence is already sky high. Charlie's adapted so well with being under Adam Booth. Like, he's got nothing but praise for him. He listens to every word he says by the book. Like, he's got so much respect for the man. And going into that, I think he's already bred him a lot of confidence with the brilliant sparring he's had with Ryan Burnett, Lucien Reid. And then I think today, we had sort of, not like whispers, but just looking at Butcher at the press conference yesterday, even a few weeks back when there was the press conference up in Glasgow, he just looked like he was struggling for weight then. And then yesterday he looked pretty drawn anyway. He looked like his head was all over the place. And today it just reinforced it, coming in, what, a pound overweight pretty much to start with.
Has that given your brother less or more confidence going into tomorrow?
Well, I don't think it can give anyone less confidence
that
their opponent's struggling for weight that badly. And like, if you just look at the facts, he spent 48 minutes and he took off 2 ounces. Like, that's how much weight he would have lost by the time he took his boxing and all that off. But Charlie's confidence is absolutely sky high. His Butcher's lips were white. He looked so drawn at the weight. He looks like there's nothing there. Don't get me wrong though, it's one thing you can't do is write him off, because I weren't there myself, but I heard from people that when he fought Thomas Asomba and won, that he had the same weight issues. He was meant to fight at the flyweight, then it got moved last minute, but they couldn't get the title for it, the Superfly one, and so it was all over the place. But then he went on to win the next day, so Charlie still knows he's in for a fight. Like, there's no way he's sort of thinking he's won it already before he's got in there. He knows he's in for a tough time, but really, really confident.
Well, either way, it promises to be a great fight. It's a difficult fight for your brother Charlie and also for Ian. I think people are kind of just a pick 'em between the pair, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think it would be hard to not have Charlie as the favourite. I think as amateurs, they were on a GB squad together, and I think it was quite clear to everyone that had seen that Charlie was probably that next level up from Ian Butcher. Like, I've seen spars. They sparred hundreds of rounds back in the past. So I think the general consensus from like the boxing people is that Charlie's going in the favourite, but that's a slippery slope. That's where people are coming after you. And Butcher's not going to sort of be lacking for this fight. He knows it's sort of a crossroads fight for him really, because he's got the loss against Kevin Satchel for the same title, the flyweight version of this title, the loss against Kasaba Kovacs. He knows that another loss at this level sort of will cap where he's going to go. 2 MTK fighters. So this is sort of for both of them to try and get to that next level. And obviously Charlie coming off the world title defeat, he's got to sort of get in there and prove a point really. He can't sort of be coasting what he was doing before. Like Louis normally won pretty much within his means. Phil Smith, Luke Wilton, there was all quite, there was tough enough fights. They were like busy opponents, but he didn't really get out of first or second gear in those fights. But this one he knows he's absolutely, he knows Butcher, he knows he's tough. I think his fitness will really be the thing that lets him down. And being that tight on weight, I think will just do him no favours at all.
Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow night.
Yeah, can't wait for it.
All right, coming on to you now. 3-0 so far.
That's the one.
You happy with the amount of fights you've had since you turned pro?
Well, yeah, because I turned pro, I had my debut on the 24th of September. 2.5 weeks later, I had my second fight, and then just before Christmas, I got one in as well. I was in a transitional stage because originally I thought I was going to go about 5 or 6 fights before getting snapped up by the promoter, because that was the original plan set out. Then when Warren came up with a really good offer, I sort of snapped it with both hands. And obviously as the BT takeover's sort of been in transit, I had the chance to go on a small hall show again on February, March time, which I definitely could have done. But I thought, you know what, I've been quite busy to start with. I had a busy 2016 anyway with the ABAs. I went box internationally. I had quite a lot on then my 3 pro fights. So I just thought, me and my team thought, we'll just take it steady. I've been in camp since the first week of September. And obviously I'm not fighting until May the 20th. It's my first fight under Frank Warren. But I think I'm absolutely over the moon how everything's going. And now, once that fight's in, the ball will probably be rolling now. And I'm going to be looking to get 5 or 6 fights per year for the next couple of years.
Obviously there's a big bill on May the 20th at the Copper Box. headlined by Walsh and Gervonta Davis, which is a very interesting and I've said a big fight. They did a press conference recently, so to be on that bill.
Yeah, it's massive. Well, it's a lot easier to sell tickets for a show that's got Gervonta Davies and like, Walsh up at the top end. I think the ticket people at Warren are going to be fed up with me, Tony. I think I've asked them about 4 or 5 more times to get more tickets sent out, which every time he has, to be fair, and I've got rid of them just as soon as I've got them. So yeah, I should have a decent little support there, and I'm really looking forward to that. They tried getting me I was offered a someone scored. I was offered a 2-0 opponent at the time, 2-0 from Liverpool, bantamweight, and all I said was, if you make super flyer, even though I'm a flyweight originally, and I will be a flyweight, I said if you make super flyweight, I'll fight anyone, to be honest, because I'm that confident, and I just want the fights. I don't really want to be trudging to get 15-16-0 against journeymen, because I think that's boring. I want to have a long career. I want to go till like 50, 60, 70 upward fights, but I want proper fights, because I know I've got the ability to go in there, not get hurt, touch wood, and perform to my best. So I don't think I really needed too many learning fights. I think my style and my boxing ability is more mature than my age and even my fights, really.
So Sonny, obviously from your side, can you just sort of clarify what has gone on with this Prince Patel situation?
The old Prince Patel.
Yeah, I mean, we're led to believe that a fight was offered to him, but from your side of it, what happened and why didn't that fight happen?
Well, I'm just going to tell the exact truth from my side, because I'm not here to fabricate and try and make anyone look worse, because that's a fight I've made no secret about wanting. I'll have that fight and I want that fight. That's the main fight now that I want, regardless of titles and that, because I just don't like the kid, really. But I'd spoken to Andy Aylin, my management, and goes, oh, well, I think I'm ready to start pushing on for titles. And they went, well, the Southern Area and English titles, they're in your reach already. And I went, well, Southern Area title, 100%. And they was like, okay then, we can definitely get that, because it's been vacant since Ian Napa won it about 10 years ago. So they can't tell me that I can't fight for it, because at the end of the day, GB background, ABAs, 3-0, I can fight for that fight for that title. And then they went, well, Prince Patel, that's the first person in the option. I went 100%, that's the exact fight I want, whenever he wants it, at flyweight. So obviously that's what both weight we're campaigning at. Within, I think, about 10 minutes, Andy Aylin got back to me. No, don't want it, don't want to know. I'm there scratching my head thinking, this kid said that he would knock me out. This kid said, fucking, oh, he's just a bum and all this bollocks. And then he gets offered a fight. Before money was even, he's turned around. Oh, let me go for it chronologically. He said, no, so come back to me. Oh, we'll try and get Sammy Cantwell, we'll try and get, I think, Jack Hughes, we'll try and get someone for it. Not heard nothing back still about a month later. But what happened was, after that conversation, Andy Aylin, then Frank Warren released Patel. He's not on the books no more. I knew that probably about 5-6 weeks ago, I'd say, that this happened. And only last week it sort of come out that Patel, he announced on some social media that he's no longer with Frank Warren. He's got his contract back and he's blessed, or some load of bollocks. And then that was my chance to think, actually no, because I didn't want to be the one to release it. It's not my news to release, but I gave my opinion on it. He was asked to fight me, refused, got released. That's the truth that I know, that's the truth that he knows, that's the truth that everyone working on both sides knows. But they're trying to fabricate this story that he was offered the same money for a 10-round Southern Area needle fight. Don't get me wrong, I reckon I can clear about 400, 500 tickets for a fight with him, any venue in London. I'd be very confident, because I have people messaging me on a weekly basis wanting me to fight him. I know I could clear those tickets for it. And he tried turning around and saying that Frank Warren had offered him the same money for a 10-round Southern Area title against Survival than a 4-rounder. It doesn't take many geniuses to know that he was offered that fight and didn't want it, and now he's sort of trying to use that to spin it, because no one's going to have that proof to sort of say, actually no, he was the money, because the negotiations didn't go far enough to offer money. That's the truth. I've got my contract set in stone. I know what I'm getting paid roughly. Obviously it will get adjusted when championships come in. And he was in a very similar position to that. I know that for a fact. So for him to lie and turn around and say that he was offered for a 4-round fight for the 10-round Southern Area needle fight is absolute bollocks. It's pathetic, really, that him and his team, whatever he's got around him, are trying to sort of use that spin on it. But like I said, I'm here waiting. I'll take that fight. Obviously, ideally on a Frank Warren platform, but I'll fight him on any show. And I think the people at Frank Warren would let me as well. They would let me fight on any show. because that's a fight they know that would elevate me, because so many people want me to see me beat him. And it would as well. It'd be an easy fight for me. I'd love it.
Did your dislike of Prince Patel come through your brother?
Well, do you know what? Back in the day, it was quite like, not like him in respect, but we got along to the sense of Charlie beat him the first when he was little, and then they didn't fight for a couple of years. And I remember my dad drove a minibus from Newham Boxing Club with pretty much all the London boys. That was going to the Three Nations at this time, and Patel was the weight above Charlie. So we talked in that sense, like, we're never pals, but he was more respectable back then than what he is now. Speaking normally, went all the way up to Wales and back, and then he spat the dummy out because he lost or something. But then it was the next year when Charlie started boxing him pretty much in every championship. He just got downright rude and disrespectful. One of the main things is, I joined Repton at this time, where Charlie was still at Lynn, and Patel was at the senior club of Repton. So he obviously knew me, and he always had choice words to say, but I sort of just ignored him. I was 3 years younger than him, a lot smaller than him. Charlie beat him in the senior ABAs, the first round, I think, 2011 or 10. And then, as I was walking past him, didn't do nothing to goad him, the kid spat on me. And then from that, he got kicked out of Repton. A week later, he was crying to come back, and I was like, no, you don't spit on one of our junior boxers, regardless of what it is. So there was always that hate, but he just sort of, as he got older, and I got older, and I sort of crept up to his weight. It was going to be my first year in the senior ABAs, and we could have fought. And we bumped into each other at TKO Gym just after I got back from a week holiday in Magaluf. And I tried sparring him, I tried putting on my gear on that, and he ran to the change rooms. Didn't come out for half an hour, and then went on the bag saying that he weren't fit. Did the same again on the Friday. I did the same, calling him out, jumped in the ring, getting him in there. He didn't, and Charlie ended up sparring me, and he watched doing all pulling faces, sticking his tongue out. He's just a horrible piece of work. Like, he's someone I'd love to fight, and yeah, the dislikes there. And the thing is, I don't rate his boxing ability anyway, but he's not the worst kid in the world. I wouldn't slate him completely. The kid can fight a little bit. He had a bit of amateur background, but he thinks he's up here, and really he's the lowest of the low, because he won't fight no one. I know he's not taking fights against Jay Harris for the Commonwealth title. He says no flyweight can handle his power, but he won't fight no flyweight. All he wants to do is fight Bulgarian imports and fucking light flyweights blown up to his weight. He took the fight that he drew against. He took that because there was no video evidence of the kid when Charlie boxed him. Charlie put him down and won every round. Charlie put him down and won every round. So obviously he's looked at that and thought, nah, guy, he can't be that good, so I'll have him. Ended up getting put down and scraped the draw, which he really should have lost. Like, he's a joke, he's a clown, and his team are talking he's getting some lucrative deal, is how they wanted to put it. Which for probably, on my guess, will be Richard Poxon on Chris Eubank's undercards. For how long that lasts, which will be one show every, 4 or 5 months that Chris Eubank can try and spin a half-empty pay-per-view, but that's another story. But that's what I see him going down. That sort of led, because I think I've seen the picture service of ITV Sport. I might be wrong. If not, he's probably going with David Hay on something. I don't know, but all I know is his days are very numbered, because he's going to struggle to get mentioned without people going, well, he bottled a fight against fucking Sonny Edwards. And how much he talked me down. If you don't want to fight me, it's a joke. An absolute laughing stock. As simple as that.
I mean, we know obviously from when Prince Patel done that interview, well, I don't know how long ago, maybe it was a couple of years ago now, and then obviously went with Frank Warren. He's had 3 or 4 fights on the rim, and
had 3 or 4 promoters as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been around with the promoters.
And 3 or 4 trainers, I think.
But you know, I've kind of spoke to him away from, you know, not in an interview kind of situation, and yeah, I think part of him is probably, a lot of it's just putting on a show, because I think I've had listen, I've spoken to him on the phone, and I've had sensible conversations with him.
And I don't dispute that at all.
Yeah.
But you've got to remember, when something goes up on YouTube, it doesn't get forgotten.
No,
when something goes on the internet, it's
yeah,
there.
no, I understand that. Yeah, I understand that.
Talking about a fucking 9-inch cock because he had a 9-minute interview, it's just he's an absolute joke. Like, whoever was sort of advising him, and if someone was advising him, then they did a very, very bad job. But I think I think he's trying to tone it all back, because he built himself up to be up here, then drew against a journeyman pretty much, pegged him down a lot, scraped past Brett Fido, 39-38 in the second fight, who I beat 40-36, Charlie bought 60-54, Louis Norman beat 60-54, do you know what I mean? So he's shown really, but don't get me wrong, he's a tough fighter, that Brett Fido, and so is that Spanish kid, but he's shown that he's not at the level that he was trying to sell himself as. So you can do all that talk, but all it's going to do is make you look like an absolute moron when it comes to it. And that's the beginning and the end and the long and the short of it. You can't talk like that if you're going to go and then have no bad performance. You can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, like to have seen, obviously, you know, him be a bit more active to sort of back up or not back up.
He sells about 20 tickets. You know what I mean? His name might look good on a poster because people go, actually, I'll fucking go and see him get beat. But they're not going to go buy a ticket off him just because they want to go see him. He's not this massive draw that he's sort of trying to pursue himself as. And when you don't take no fights, it's hard for people to go and watch you, isn't it? When you won't get in the ring, he could be the best kid in the gym. He could be a world champion in the gym, but he's a shithouse and won't never jump in the ring. He won't fight me, little fat kid from South London. He won't fight me. Kid that is called ugly, bum, fucking rat, goofy, whatever he wants. He won't fight me though. And why is that? If he was that confident that he'd beat me, Southern Area title, he would make enough money off ticket commissions, I reckon, because a lot of people that he likes would want to see him beat me. Because I'm not the quietest or the least outspoken. I'll say what I think. Sometimes people don't really like that, but not too asked. But all I know is I'd have probably 95% of people wanting me to fucking knock him out or embarrass him, which I think I would. If I fought him, I don't think it'd go past 6, 7. Not because I would put him out, or I think he'd get disqualified. I think he'd do something so stupid and rash that he'd get disqualified. So I'd be in his head, and he knows that. Every social media he's blocked me. He don't want to hear a word from me. Everything I've got people that message him and think they blocked me, tagged me if they blocked me. Everyone. He don't want to know. He's running for me like the plague. We'll have to start turning down at Peacock on Tuesday mornings to hunt him down now. We're going to bring you and me, KUGAN. We're going to be fucking over the shoulder camera. We're going to have to. Any press conference, I'm doing a Shannon Briggs, let's go champ. I'd call him a champ, but he didn't even win a senior ABA title. One of his team tried mugging me off for losing in the senior ABA finals last year. The year after, I won it as well. So what's that? 2 years in the seniors, 2 finals, lost on the closest split that me and my team fought and won. Spoke to the kid after, said if it was different judges, different day, I easily could have won it. Respectful lad, I've got a lot of respect for Kieran McDonald. But Patel went in it 4 times and got beat 4 times. And I can name, I think I was there every time he got beat as well. Because Charlie beat him twice. And Wally didn't beat him twice. So where does he really go? I don't know.
Well, listen, we'll have to see how this situation pans out. But like I said, I know. Listen, I'm aware of the stuff he said because most of the stuff he said has been on our channel. But part of me thinks he's a little bit misunderstood. There is part of me that believes that.
That's fair enough. But that doesn't change the fact that I still
listen, all over you're right what you say. Once you say things, once you tweet things or whatever, then things you can't get rid of them. So it doesn't matter if it's a show or not. People kind of remember those things. So let's just see. You know, he's obviously going to go for a new chapter in his boxing career. Let's see how that pans out.
Jesus Christ, his book's going to be very small, but a lot of chapters. Every fight has got something new going on. I can't keep up. Cannot keep up.
All right. Well, listen. Like I said, you're focused on your brother tomorrow. Let's see how this turns out with him and Ian Butcher sitting right on the fence with this because they're both MTK fighters, but obviously firmly in your brother's corner. But yeah, we'll have a catch up soon. But it's good talking to you. Have you got anything else you want to
add? Just a quick one. I just want to, because this has been my first back run up, want to thank all the boys and my trainer down at Steel City Gym. That's put in a lot of hours, a lot of time with me sparring. We're up at 6:45 in the morning. We're on the track, we're in the gym. It's got a little family down there. Grant Smith, my trainer, he was my amateur coach as well. So I'm just buzzing to be back with him because he's more than just a trainer. I mean, so much more than that. And a quick thanks to all my sponsors. GoPack, got Shire Electricals, got Green Key Loft Installations, KO Clothing, Skybar, Port Banús. I've got a good backing behind me, and my management team and my promotionals, MTK, and I've got a really good team. I'm in a really good place at the moment, so I think for the next 12 months, I'd be surprised if I weren't in some good fights, hunting down the Southern Area title, then the English, then see where we go from there. As soon as Selby runs off, so I can fucking dodge him as well, then all the big fights are there. But yeah, I'm just really looking forward to it. I've done my little sort of getting the first few fights out of the way. Now I'm on the big stages, the big shows, and I think I'm going to really impress. So it just is what it is.
Okay. Sonny Edwards, thank you very much for talking to Rivalry TV, and we'll catch up with you really soon.
Definitely.
Good man.